I call the August 16th, which is Wednesday, 2023, Land and Facility Management Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Duplantis,
Here.
Mrs. Babin,
Here.
Mrs. Mulbrook.
Good. Thank you all for coming tonight. Please buckle in. We may be here a while. But at this point, without any objections, I would like to move item DD, which is the last item, up on the agenda to be number 1. And I have a specific purpose for that, is because she just reads her report, which is very informative to us, and then she's out the door. So I'd like to introduce to receive a report from lead accountant Ms. Shasta Chesson in reference to ongoing project budgets.
Good evening, and thank you very much. So our major construction fund has 2 bond referendums. The 2017 bond has a total referendum of $19.2 million. The budgets for these projects are $19.2 million. Actual spent to date with encumbrances total $17.5 million. We have all funds obligated to a specific project at this time. For our second bond referendum, the 2021 bond has a total referendum of $49.1 million. The budgets for these projects are $49.1 million. Actual spent to date with encumbrances total $34 million. We have all funds obligated to a specific project at this time.
Right. Any questions? That's all. Reference to her 2-minute report? Any from the audience? Any from the board members?
I'm going to take responsibility for this because I just said earlier that I felt bad that you had to wait all that time to read something that we could probably read ourselves. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you for your report. Please be careful going home. And,
Well, I'm going to listen to the next 3 items because
Okay.
those concern my construction fund. And then I'll
all right, so we're gonna move on to item number, actually 2, to receive a report from Mr. John in place of Mr. Andy Positeri on Thibodeau Middle School.
Yes, sir. Mr. Positeri is taking a well-earned break after all the great work he did on the school here. It's beginning the punch list phase, you know. We're getting in there, we're settling some things out. We're already starting to get a mix of school dues and warranty claims because we have a 1-year warranty on it. So we're working that stuff out. And I'm getting ready to turn over West to them probably on Monday so they can start abatement and demolition on that. So proceeding along.
Any questions from the public or the board? All right, well, thank you, Mr. John. Item number 3, to receive a report from Mr. Daniel Bruce on Golden Meadow Lower Elementary School.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Real brief. So it's substantially complete. Our marshal inspection was conducted. Got green lighted on everything. They're cooking. Kids are in school. We're basically in the punch list phase. We got to develop a punch list, get all that paperwork put together and submitted, and final payment in 45 days or so from now.
Any questions, concern from the public? Any from board?
I just want to say it's so good to hear that this is substantially complete. We've been hearing about it for so long with the HVAC, so good job. Keep it up with that.
Once again, we'd like to thank,
150 days did it.
Yes.
We don't talk about that.
once again, we'd like to thank you for everything you do for the school system and keep up the good work. All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good evening. Item number 4, to receive a report also from Mr. John, taking Mr. Robert Utley's place on Thibodeau Elementary School.
And I have a text from him. He's under the weather, so we hope he feels well soon. Basically, he said we asked for a substantial completion on the job, right? We had put it off to have it done during the summer. So it's pretty much wrapping up. The new air unit has been installed in the process of getting it balanced out, you know, because we changed out the air structure in it. So in that process, and then we should be completing this within a couple of weeks.
Any questions from the general public? Any from school board members? If not, thank you, Mr. John, for the report. Item number 5, to receive a report from Mr. Bob Bernard with All South Consulting on Hurricane Ida damages. Mr. Bob, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, I'll be brief. Try to. South Lafourche High School, building is back to pre-storm conditions, except for the auditorium, which is great news. So facilities in full use. ROTC and cheer, obviously, that's going to be later, but all's good at South Lafourche. LCO finishing up in spring of 2024. So they got a lot of work done over the summer, a lot of flooring work, a lot of painting, waiting on HVAC equipment to come in, and that's going to be completed sometimes in spring of next year. Bayou Blue Building 7, substantial completion is scheduled for October 15th. Probably will be sooner than that, more like the beginning of October. We had a meeting today, the OAC meeting on site today. Building is looking good. All the HVAC is in and running, dropping ceiling tiles. Flooring is all that pretty much is left to remain to be done at that facility. So in the next 30 days, they'll be wrapping up, ready for punch list. Gulf Rose is progressing. Substantial completion is scheduled for early November. Again, the contractor is telling us he'll be done before that. Golden Meadow Upper is substantially complete. The only thing left we have to do there is get the band building in. We did the RFQ last week. That's going to be on the agenda for approval for the temporary modular building. We have to get that in, get the foundation, the pad in, the canopies, the ramps and steps put in. So we're hoping by mid to late October, we'll have the band building up and running at Golden Meadow Upper. All right, TIP and TLC is substantially complete except for the HVAC system at TIP. We have a meeting tomorrow on site to work out a few details. The equipment's in. We just have to work out a few things to finalize that. They should be done within the next 2 weeks with the HVAC system at TIP. Off Elementary is substantially complete. Graceland Upper, same thing, except for the flooring on the 3rd floor, which they're not using right now, don't really need it, but we're waiting on that material to come in to finish up Graceland Upper. St. Charles Elementary modular building is in operation, which is great, and they're going to start 2nd floor or improvements on the 2-story building shortly. In fact, we have a meeting next week to kick that off. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are all substantially complete. That's Lockport Upper, all the Thibodeau projects, Raceland Middle, Lockport Middle, W.S. LaFog, ROTC and chair. We're going to start having a programming meeting with the directors on these 2 buildings shortly. We're working on the demo package to get FEMA to approve demos so we can get those 2 buildings knocked down. So that's in the plan coming up hopefully pretty quick. No changes at Bayou Buff Elementary or Golden Meadow Middle as far as the FEMA is concerned. They completed all their site visits, so the final determination is still in their court on what's going to happen at those 2 facilities. Roof repairs at Golden Meadow Middle. We have a pre-construction meeting scheduled with the contractor on September 5th, so that work will be kicked off. And then we had the final bid of the year last week, so that's going to be on the agenda for approval for the 10 various sites. And then the upcoming bids, the next soonest bid will be in the fall of this year, St. Charles Elementary. We should be ready to bid that sometimes in October, November, I think we talked about. And then after that would be Golden Meadow Lower, which would be sometimes probably in January. So for now, we're gonna have a little lull in bids, but that's it. Any questions?
I have a question about the Golden Meadow Lower. Did you say January would be when the bid process will start?
We should be ready to go out for bid sometimes around January.
Okay, okay. I've had several people in my district ask about various things, specifically the drop off, which, you know, we lost the covered walkway where the current drop off is. And I have expressed to them that it hasn't been replaced because of the pending additions to the building. And so timeline was kind of in question. And so I wanted to be able to offer some information to people.
So I just want to make a comment and thank you guys, because when you look at the agenda for a meeting like tonight and you go down the list, it says Hurricane Ida repairs over and over and over again. This is just a true testament to all the work that you guys are doing. I mean, we're looking at 2 years out from Hurricane Ida, and we're finally getting to the point where we're able to say subsequent completion. So that's a direct reflection of you and your team and the guys and the people in construction, how they're doing all that. So thank you guys very, very much for getting us back together. We appreciate it.
And look, that trickles down. I mean, designers, architects, contractors. We had, really good contractors. All the principals I met with, for the most part, look, there was some little rocky roads over the summer.
Oh, we know rocky roads.
And I'm sure y'all know about that, but at the end of the day, they were satisfied and they had a good relationship with the contractors. So those guys make it or break it. So kudos to them.
We appreciate y'all not slowing down and doing the work that y'all doing, and I hope the general public understands, because a lot of this coming up, new business is all Hurricane Ida related. So, right now, we have entrusted this gentleman and his company and his expertise. And once again, everybody else who's involved with this gentleman, we rely on him heavily. So we appreciate it.
No, it takes a team effort, and we have a good team. And in regards to the change orders too, look, there's reasons for change orders. It's, with a scope this big after Hurricane Ida, a lot of damage, the assessments were done early, we were pushing to get that work done, get the drawings out, get them bid. So they're gonna miss things on a regular basis, let alone something like this, right? So there are some misses, right? They'll admit that. There are some unforeseens that get uncovered as you're doing the work that you never see. So lots of things that contribute to change orders, but overall, not bad. Considering it seems like a lot, but we have 20 or more projects going, so it kind of snowballs. Okay? All right.
Once again, we do thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item 6, new business. To consider a request from Thibodeau Lions Club to waive the fees for the use of the football turf field at Thibodeau High School. I have Mr. David Miller here. Miller?
Yes, sir.
You have the floor.
Thank you. I'm with the Thibodeau Lions Club. We are hosting the 77th middle school jamboree. It used to be the junior high jamboree, and of course 2001-ish moved to the middle school jamborees on Saturday, August 26th. Game 1 is Bayou Blue versus LCO. 2 is Lockport, the new Thibodeau Middle School. Game 3 will be Raceland versus Gold Meadow, and Game 4 is Sixth Ward versus Edie White. We're asking to waive the fees because all gate proceeds derived from the game are split between participating middle schools. So we'll pay security out of it and the custodian for the facility, and then divide the rest of the gate proceeds 8 ways. And I did a little research in the last 9 times we've held the event. We donated back $48,700 back to the middle schools in Lafourche Parish. So the more, if we can waive the fees, that's more money that's going to the individual schools. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, I did confirm before the meeting with our insurance specialist that they have the proper insurance in place to proceed. Let's proceed. All right. Any other questions, concerns? All right. I do ask y'all to please vote. Don't you said to consider a request. We need a vote, though. Oh, sorry, I need a motion first. I will motion, Ms. Badger will second that motion. I'm sorry, now we can vote.
Sorry, I missed it.
That's what he's sleeping, it's late. All right, now we can vote, please. We'll have a hamburger joint.
Yeah, and french fries.
I had to ask, because he was asking. Can't beat it. All right, motion carries unanimously. Once again, Mr. Miller, thank you and the Thibodeau Lions Club for everything you do.
Appreciate y'all.
In support of this great cause. Item B, to consider a request from Raceland Biddy Basketball to waive the fees for the use of the gymnasium at Raceland Middle School. Today I have Mr. Evan Lewis and his assistant, Mr. Mark Washington, that will come forward and present.
How y'all doing? My name is Evans Lewis, 302 Klein Peter Drive in Tivoli, Louisiana. Our program been down since COVID, and we're just trying to get the kids doing something in the community, and just trying to get everybody together and try to have them something to do to try to get them away from the streets and stuff like that. And I miss, in the 4 years, I miss from being around. I don't have no kid in the organization or nothing like that. Me and him, he got grandson and stuff, but we get in the cars and we just go ride all over and watch him play.
All right. Any, yeah?
I'd like the motion.
All right, you need to make a motion. Good. Second, by Mr. Marlbrook, please. Thank you very much. I do want to also say that the insurance has been checked out and they're okay to proceed. All right. Public comment? Anybody wants to sign up for referee? No? Any school board comment? Yes.
I'd like to say that I'm going to support it because I did attend one of the meetings a few months ago at the parish government office, and the community from Raceland that was there voiced concerns over having a lot of the basketballs when they had to travel to Lockport because your guys' rec center is being used for FEMA, and you guys do not have it. So I know extremely how important it is, because they voiced that concern that the kids there and how big basketball is in your community. So I will be supporting this.
Thank you for that information, very important. All right. Well, no other questions, concerns? I should please vote. Item passes. Gentlemen, thank you for everything you do for our community, and good luck with y'all program. Item C, to receive bids for Hurricane Ida repairs to 10 various sites. All right.
The recommended action on this is to accept the low bid from Cotton Commercial with a base bid in the amount of $398,500 for Hurricane Ida repairs at 10 various sites. These sites are South of Rose Elementary School, Lockport Lower Elementary School, Career Magnet Center, Bayou Blue Middle School, LPSD Maintenance Building, Bayou Blue Elementary School, the Media Center, Raceland Lower Elementary, Child Nutrition, and Chack Bay Elementary School.
Need a motion, please? Mrs. Batman, please, and Mrs. Marlborough, second. All right, any concerns or questions from the general public? Any from our board? If none, I ask you please vote. All right, there is approval. John, you'll get to proceed. Yes, sir. All right, then we will. Item D, to consider the most responsive quote for Hurricane Ida project for new modular building at Golden Meadow Upper Elementary School.
Yes, sir. The recommended action is to accept the most responsible quote from Mobile Modular Management Corp. for the IDA project for a new modular building at Golden Meadow Upper Elementary School for a total amount of $100,802.84. which includes all costs to set up of the modular building, provide a 2-year lease, and all costs to remove the building at the end of the term.
First, a motion, Mrs. Lavin. Sorry, second by Mrs. Marlbrook. Any questions, concerns from the public, from board members? If not, I should please vote. Item passes, unanimous. Item E, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to add pipe supports at Golden Meadow Upper Elementary School.
Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $2,891.90 to add pipe support for electrical conduits on the roof of Building 1 and to add 90 days to the contract at Golden Meadow Upper Elementary School.
Have a motion? If not, then I'll second. Okay, I'll second that one. Okay. Any comments from the public? Any board comments?
My best interest.
Okay. I don't have a voluntary again.
That would, normally it's like a conflict of interest or something like a documented reason. So if you feel like it could be a conflict of, and I'm just saying point of order, I'm sorry. If it's a point of order, if it's a conflict of interest of such, you can just say I abstain because of a conflict of interest, and that goes on the record as an official reason to abstain.
I don't know if I can go in and divulge it.
I'm not asking you to divulge.
I'm not allowed, well, you're asking for a reason.
I'm not. I'm asking you to state for the record your reason of why you choose to abstain. That's all you have to say. We're not asking you for any details.
It's in my best interest not to. You just said it's not, that's not a reason.
Possible conflict of interest, that's all we're asking.
I don't know if that's what it is, and I don't want to put that on the record if it's not. So I believe it's in my best interest not to.
Just don't vote at all. Just, if you could please document.
I'll
that-
document your decided reason.
Thank you, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, Madam President.
Let the record reflect.
All right, so now we can proceed to vote. Three yeas and one, not present at vote. So it does pass. Item F, to consider a change order request for Hurricane.
Wait. They're gonna put I'm not present at vote instead of abstaining?
I cannot rule on that. I will not be ruling on that one.
What you stated will be in the minute.
Right.
Item 6.
All right, we ready to move on? Item F, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to add a flagpole at South Lafourche High School.
Yes, sir. The recommended action is to add a change order, to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $3,791 to add a flagpole at South Lafourche High School.
Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Lavin. I'll move second, please. Okay, any comments from public, concerns? Any from board? Yes, ma'am?
Again, I'm gonna abstain, and I'm gonna call it conflict of interest, whatever you wanna call it, until I can speak with the board attorney. I do not want to.
Okay, once again, we will ask you to please vote. You have that on record, though, right? Thank you. Yeas and one, okay, at this point on record as an abstain. Okay. Item G, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to add additional LVT flooring in coat base at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $18,026.47 to add additional LVT flooring and coat base at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Motion by Mrs. Mulgrew, I'll second this.
Ms. Bowden.
I'm sorry.
Motion by Ms. Bowden.
Motion by Ms. Bowden, second by me. Any comments from the public? Any from our board members? Yes, ma'am?
Again, for the same reason for the abstain.
Okay. On record, if you would. I should please vote. Item passes with 2 yeas and 1 abstention. Item H, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for abatement of the band room and second floor corridor at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Yes, sir. Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $4,400 for VAT abatement of the band room and second floor corridor at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Any motion? Mrs. Babin? Second by me. And, any concerns or comments from the audience? Any from board members? Yes, ma'am?
I'll be abstaining for the same reason because I've stated before.
All right, on record, I should please vote. Item passes with 2 yeas and 1 abstention. Item I, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for the cost of labor and materials for the aluminum canopies at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $18,810 for the repairs to the aluminum canopies at LaRose Cutoff Middle School.
Motion, please, by Mrs. Babin. I'll second it, please. Any concerns or questions from the audience, public? Any from school board members? Yes, ma'am?
Again, I'll abstain for the same reasons.
All right.
Wait, is it a conflict of interest? Because now you're saying
I don't know
conflict
if
of
it is.
interest or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, well, does everybody want to know? I sent an email. I
We're
talked
not
about
asking you
something
to
No,
tell
I'm not
us.
asking.
And I don't
We
know
have
if
to
I can
record
vote
the
on
reason and
I don't know if I can vote on this. That's why I wanted to talk to Mr. Amity, but the rules have changed for that to happen. So I have to go through you or Ms. Babin to do that.
why did
So
you want to talk to them?
to make sure either I can vote or can't, and I don't know if I
Based on a
can,
potential,
based on a potential fact that I raised concerns and discussed change order requests. So I don't want it to be a conflict of interest that I've discussed change order requests.
That reason would be a potential conflict of interest. You just stated it. So for the record to reflect, that would be a potential conflict of interest on all the abstains in the land and facilities meeting.
Do I need to keep raising my hand and saying it, or did you have the same?
Yes, you do, for the record.
Each item. Yeas and 1 abstention, and it does pass. Item J, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for electrical panel at La Rose Cutoff Middle School. Mr. Johnson.
Recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $6,131.40 to substitute the electrical panel due to delays in delivery at La Rose Cutoff Middle School.
Need a motion, please? Motion by Mrs. Batman, second by myself. Any public comment? Any board comment? All right, abstain for conflict of interest. Please vote. Item passes, 2 yeas, 1 abstention. Item K, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to repair buildings number 4 and number 6 at North La Rose Elementary School. Mr. John?
Yes, sir. The recommended actions are to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $78,363.02 to repair buildings number 4 and buildings number 6 at North La Rose Elementary School.
Motion, please, Mrs. Bavin, I will second it. Any comments from the public? Any from board members? Okay. No, fails. All right, please vote. Item passes, 2 yeas, 1 abstain. Item L, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to repair additional roof damage to North La Rose Elementary School. No.
Yes, the recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $71,146.43 to repair additional roof damage at North La Rose Elementary School.
I have a motion by Mrs. Batman. I will second it. Any,
I do have a question about this one, please. When you say additional roof damage, this is something that we found after, right?
Yes, the 2 ends blew off, remember, at North La Rose? Not that we took our eye off of the football, but that's what we were concentrating on, and once we settled down and looked at the other areas, these were discovered. So this would have been covered under Ida, no matter what. It's just, it was discovered. No
problem.
got a question with possible FEMA reimbursement or? Okay, all right, just wanted to- all right, any additional public comments? Any additional school board comments? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, so please vote. Two yeas and 1 abstain. Moving on to the next. The motion does pass. M, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to issue a credit for North La Rose Elementary School.
The best kind of change orders.
Yes.
The recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to issue a credit in the sum of $4,339.39 due to accounting errors on change order number 1 at North La Rose Elementary School.
Motion, please. Motion by Mrs. Babbitt. I will second that motion. And any questions or concerns from, comments from the public? Any from school board members? Yes, ma'am. You will abstain on that one? Okay. Let the record reflect you abstain on. Awesome. All right, please vote. Item passes with 2 yeas, 1 abstain. Moving on to the next item, N, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to install hat channels on the roof at Lockport Upper Elementary School. Mr. John?
The recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $33,038.00 to replace hat channels that were removed when the temporary roof was installed, and to add 30 days to the contract at Lockport Upper Elementary School.
Motion by Mr. Diamond. Okay, I'll second that motion. Any public comment, questions, concerns? No, any board? Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Marion?
Yes, I just had. I'll get your little hat on top of you.
Bob and I was prepared, this it's just a piece of metal that is mounted inside the roofing that they attach the new roofing to. We had a really bad section that the temporary fixed it. We just cleaned everything off and threw some plywood down and covered it up so we can, stop the water from going inside. And when the roofer came to bid on the job, he wasn't able to see that we had removed all that, Now that he opened it up, he realized, oh, y'all pulled this channel out and he needs it back. And it's actually a Z instead of a hat.
Oh, okay.
So, you second.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Any additional comments or board concerns? Please vote. Motion passes with one abstention. Item P. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to speed up the meeting. Item O, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to purchase flooring and adhesive at Lockport Upper Elementary School.
The recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $9,300 to purchase additional LVT flooring and adhesive at Lockport Upper Elementary School.
Motion by Mr. Babb. I will second that motion. Any questions, concerns from the public? All right, any from board members? Yes, ma'am. Any other comments? Okay, ask you please to vote. Item passes, one abstain. Item P, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to replace light fixtures in the teacher's lounge at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $1,975.75 to replace the light fixtures in the teacher's lounge at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Abbott, second by myself.
I was wondering if you could give it out there.
Any comments or concerns from the public? Any from board members? Yes, ma'am. Record that you abstains again, please. All right, any other comments? I do have a question. What type of lighting are we looking at?
LED
The
light.
new LED? Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were involved. Thank you very much. All right, please vote. Item passes with one abstain. Item Q, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to purchase additional LVT flooring at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Yes, sir. The recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $10,206.12 for the purchasing of additional LVT flooring at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Motion by myself, second by Mrs. Babin. Any concerns or questions from the public? Any from the board? Yes, ma'am? All right, we vote. Passes with one abstain. Item R, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to replace roof panels at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Yes, the recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $95,247 to replace the roof panels that had holes from the temporary roof and to add 30 additional days to the contract at Graceland Upper Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any comments from the public? Concerns? Any from board members? Yes, ma'am. Item R. All right, any comments or board questions from board members? If none, I ask you please vote. And passes with one abstain. Item S, to authorize Burgess Rome Architect to begin schematic design on repairs and upgrades at Raceland Upper Elementary School.
Recommended action would be to authorize Burgess Rome Architecture to begin the schematic design on repairs and upgrade at Raceland Upper Elementary School with a construction budget of $7 million.
Motion by Ms. Babin, second by myself. Any comments or concerns from the public? Bobby, you don't want to say nothing on this?
Only the other question.
Oh, we have a question. Okay. Any board comments? With none, I should please vote. And passes with 3 yeas. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right, item T. To consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to install shoe molding in multiple rooms at Cutoff Elementary School.
Recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $1,480.63 to install shoe moldings in multiple rooms at Cutoff Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Other comments, concerns? Board comments, concerns? Oh, sorry. Mrs. Mobley? Okay. Spain, Ms. Lefferty, and Mrs. Leslie?
I just want to make a comment to that. I wanted to thank the committee members for approving these change orders because a lot of these schools are in my district, and the quicker we can get these things done, the quicker lives can go back to normal for these students and teachers.
Any other comments by board? If not, please vote. And passes with one abstain. Item U, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to abate rooms 227 and 229 at Galliano Elementary School. Mr. John?
Yes, sir. To accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $6,920 to abate room 227 and 229 at Galliano Elementary School.
Motion by myself, second by Mrs. Babin. Any public comments, concerns? Any board questions, concerns? Yes, ma'am. Any on this item also, please? I'm sorry?
Abatement, is that's because of the tiles or
Yes.
mold?
Yes. We were heavily stained.
Any other questions, concerns from board? If not, please vote. And passes with one abstain. Item V, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for material costs of LVT flooring at St. Charles Elementary School.
The recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $21,551.70 for material costs of LVT flooring in Building 1 at St. Charles Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comment, concerns? Any board comments, concerns? Any other comments, concerns about board? Not, please vote. Passes with one abstain. Item W, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for material costs for storm shutters for the modular buildings at St. Charles Elementary School. Mr. John?
Yes, sir. Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $803.66 for material costs for storm shutters for the modular building per code requirement at St. Charles Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comments, questions? Any board comments, questions? Yes, ma'am? Question,
I
yes.
want to echo what, Ms. Wells said. Thank you for, your confidence in this because, it's in my district and I know that the school students in the district.
And, just for public, also, the key words here is per code requirements, so we're just following this local code. Okay, with, no other comments, board, please vote. And passes with one abstain. Item X, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to issue a credit at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Yes, sir. Another one of those good ones. To accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs to issue a credit in the sum of $14,476 at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comments or concerns? Any board comments or concerns? Yes, ma'am? Any other? Yes, Ms. Babin.
Thank you, we like credits.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That's
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bruce.
Thank you, we like
Thank you,
credits.
Mr. Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Bruce.
We like to slide on that extension from a while back.
Look, one of them, they changed the insulation on the roof to a different type, right? So it saved us some money there. There was another one, we reused electrical panels from the previous buildings after we had them checked that they were still, good to be used on this project. So that saved a good chunk of money. And then we changed, flex duct, I think, right? Just the lead time was better. We was able to find a different product to get it sooner.
Thank you.
And passes one abstain. Item Y, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for additional fencing at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
This is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $17,157.99 to add additional chain link fencing and 2 gates at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any comments from the public? Questions, public? Comments from board? Yes, ma'am? Any other comments from board members, anything else? Please vote. Item passes with one abstain. Item Z, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for replacing underground conduit and fiber optic lines at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $10,943.88 to replace underground conduit and fiber optic lines between building 5 and 12 at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comment? Any school board comment? Okay. Any board comments or questions, concerns? Please vote. Item passes one abstain. Item 8A, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for electrical panels at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Yes, sir. Recommended action is to accept a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $1,507.36 to substitute electrical panels due to delays in delivery at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comment? Any board comment? Yes, ma'am. Any other board comment? None, please vote. And passes one abstain. Item BB, to consider a change order request. Sorry.
Are we supposed to have our cell phones here if we're sitting at this table and using them? I see a lot of texting going on and a lot of giggling. And it would be respectful to you and the three of us that are sitting here in this committee if that could be followed with not having our cell phones on the table.
All right, I understand. Okay, so, just please be conscious of that request. So it's not. Item BB, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for exterior wall repairs in Building 4 at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Recommended action is to accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $691.68 for moving of stored materials to allow exterior wall repairs in Building 4 at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any board? Any public comment? Any board? Yes, ma'am. You understand? All right. Any other comments by board members? Reference to this item, but none. Please vote. Item passes with one abstain. Item CC, to consider a change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs for flooring at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Yes, sir. To accept the change order request for Hurricane Ida repairs in the sum of $29,255.53 for LVT and adhesive flooring at Bayou Blue Elementary School.
Motion by Mrs. Babin, second by myself. Any public comments, questions, concerns? Any board comments, questions, concerns? Yes, ma'am? All right. Yeah, I have a question. So repairs to flooring for the new building, older buildings?
That's for building 7.
Okay,
That's for the new building.
that's what the new building, okay. I got you. I just didn't know if this was some other additional damage that was under.
So, just, and we could sit here for a while, we're actually going to pretty quickly. I believe that the original plan was that it would be owner provided floor, and now it's gonna be contractor provided floor, so the contractor needs the change order so that he can provide the floor that we were previously planning to provide ourselves.
Gotcha. All right, thank you for that. Any other questions, concerns for this, on this item? Yes, ma'am?
I just want to say, I know there's a lot of change orders, and I'd like the public to realize that when you have public funds, anything you do, you need approval. So that's why we have so many, there's so much work in this evidence of that, and we, that's why we have so many change orders.
And as Mr. Bob said, before, they came in and they hurried up and they covered roofs and all, and put patches on what was done. And now when they go back and they see the damage that was done, you have to have these change orders. So, I appreciate you explaining that to us earlier, Bob. Thank you.
Let me add something to it. I mentioned this before, but just to reiterate, I think it's important. None of these change orders we take lightly. This is not a rubber stamp. We're counting on designers to vet these, and we're going on their recommendation. And they know that because we get them, meaning All South, and we look at them. And there have been a number of times where we kicked them back and said, we need to look at this again. We rejected some that don't even make it here because the price is not right. But we're finding other means to get that work done. It's not many, but we're not just rubber stamping these change orders. That's important. In fact, I think, Justin, you're still vetting one for Tulloch Elementary. We've got like 4 or 5 emails back and forth with the contractor because he's not giving the right credits. He's charging too much for work that we know what it should cost. So, we're doing our due diligence.
Any more comments for the board? Yes, ma'am.
I also would like to point out that not all of them are actually costing us money. As we noted tonight, we had 2 change orders that were credits, which we were very happy and appreciative to receive. And also, sometimes it just has to do with work can't be done because of weather and concerns of outside forces, delivery and as such that we have no control over.
Any other comments? None, I should please vote. Passes with 1 abstain. Item DD, no more. With that being said, Bob, you got another ending comment today?
Just exercise.
You just exercised. But no other business brought before this committee.